Hello, everybody. Scott Golden with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series for the 14th of November, 1987. And we are very close to the end of this calendar year. About 6 episodes left in the year or so. Al Perez against Rick Hazard starts us off here this week. Perez against Hazard does not make sense to my brain, especially with him being the world champion. Hazard, of course, has been and continues to be a referee for the territory, and I'd say it doesn't make sense to my brain just because, why would you put your champion on TV with a enhancement talent new guy? It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, shot to the midsection by Perez. Perez obviously dominates the match. Gary Hart at ringside, proving that he is one of the best in the business in terms of having a world champion, and brings the knee up. Hazard runs right into the knee, and that doesn't go very well for him. Referee tries to back him off. It doesn't go very well either. 1, 2, and 3. And Perez gets his win in relative quick order. Flying clothesline gets it done. Then we move on to the Iron Sheik and the Thing versus Matt Bourne and the Spoiler. Interesting match there. The Iron Sheik, certainly not, a typical athlete. The Thing, not a typical athlete. So a bit of a oddity team in this particular environment. All four men brawling around in the early stages. Spoiler and the Thing pair off. Sheik and Bourne pair off. Sheik and Bourne, of course, wrestled a few months ago at the Cotton Bowl Stadium show. This entire match stays kind of a brawl. Sheik manages to get the Spoiler into their corner. Uses chokes and the like. Finally tag off to Bourne. Bourne does manage to grab the Sheik in a side headlock. Still amazing to me that the Sheik is, almost 15 years into his career at this point. And I just am amazed by that, A, because he lasted so much longer. I don't think he retired till 2009, 10, 11, something in there. But also, just because the Sheik is, he does a fast degrade in his body health. Anyway, the Thing tries to break things down with the Spoiler. I'm not quite sure I know much about the Thing. I'm not sure he's here very long either. And it's an interesting, go around. The Spoiler tries to drop an elbow on his adversary, the Sheik, and that doesn't go particularly too terribly well. Sheik with a attempted suplex and doesn't get all he wants on that. Spoiler actually falls down on him. Botchamania moment there with the timing of the suplex off. Bourne comes in, manages to hit a chop on the Thing, and Bourne and the Thing go at it for a little bit. Amazingly, they get nearly 15 minutes or thereabouts out of this match, which is, or just about 10 minutes actually, which is surprising to me. Sheik with another suplex. Sheik known for his suplexes, of course. The Sheik trained by Vern Gagne. Spoiler tries to go to the top rope. Gary Hart puts the foot of the Spoiler over or puts the foot of the Thing over the bottom rope. Holiday gets brought in and kind of beaten around a little bit. And Chris Adams comes out, tries to get in there with everybody. Adams, of course, a major factor here. Then we go to an interview with Gary Hart. Gary Hart, along with Vince Apollo, says he wants to manage the Thing. Then we go back to the Cotton Bowl Stadium show. Latinos versus the Assassins. The Latinos, Mil Mascaras, Almadril, and Manuel Villalobos versus the Thumper, the Cowboy, and Boy Tony. Interesting match. I always find it difficult that 6-mans, 8-mans, and the like are used to fill out cards. I don't like them. I would never book them. And that's going to be an interesting thing. Someday I'm going to have enough money to book a territory the way I believe in doing so. and you might see a 6-man once a year, twice a year on a show that I book, if there's a reason that everyone's tied together. Throwing 6 or 8 man matches together for the sake of doing it, to me, is lazy booking. Always has been. Hey, we've got X amount of people in the building, let's throw everybody out there. It's just has never been my thing, and that's what these matches often feel like. In any event, Mil Mascaras, obviously, probably the Mexican legend. At the time, he hits a double arm drag and then some head scissors takeover stuff. He manages to pair off with Frankie Lancaster, and he does basically the walk up head scissors, hold the head scissors for a while. Madrill comes in, he breaks the match down into a slower pace, as is to be expected. Match itself is all kinds of crazy. Boy, Tony manages to come in, hits, really, really basic stuff. And then we see the return of Mil Mascaras. I don't know that using Mascaras in a 6-man, when you're probably paying him, I don't know, I wouldn't say the most on the card, but much more than your average local area talent at the time. I'm sure of it. I don't think that's the best idea. Anyway, so the match breaks down even further. Big back body drop by Madrill. Madrill manages to stomp off on his partner, and the win for the team goes through Mil Mascaras with a top rope crossbody. We then go to the main event: Brian Adias, and Frankie Lancaster versus Kevin Von Erich and Steve Simpson. So that's there. Adias and Lancaster are your tag team champions, it appears. I hate how championships change and they never tell you, or they only tell you half the time on this program. That's been one of my big, and for the record, it's Sean Simpson, not Steve. That's been one of my biggest gripes about World Class the entire time. And I'm curious as I go through other territories. I'm battling between either finishing the Superstars of Wrestling series or going back to Smoky Mountain. I'm going to do both. I just don't know which I want to do next. But I'm so used to who the champions are, at least during the 80s and early 90s, up through about 98, 99, mattering so much in the WWF that the statement of who they are is there all the time. I don't see that in World Class. It drives me nuts. Anyway, drop kick by Von Erich. Kevin Von Erich has not been around nearly as much. Sean Simpson breaks the match down into headlocks and using of body control early, cuts the ring off, and Kevin Von Erich heads to the lower ground in a hurry. Real basic stuff. They do the penalty box match here. I'm not by any stretch a fan of these style of matches. I get why they do them. It's to add drama, but it's just not my thing. Anyway, walk through as Simpson and Von Erich are working over their opponents. And I mean, the match is, Mr. Holiday on the outside, representative of Hart and Holiday International. That's a big thing. Adias breaks things down for several minutes. Steve Simpson finds his way into the penalty box for a while. Von Erich fights back for a good bit, and that is their pull over, push over, and the like. And then we see a pin attempt for this match. The heels cut the ring off pretty aggressively during the final stages of the match. Adias comes back in. Adias not terribly willing to back down. Adias thrown in the penalty box with about maybe 5 minutes to go in the program. And then Simpson and Adias are in the penalty box together for a bit. Von Erich chases around the manager and slams him on the floor. Then we see, kind of the cutoff, and the match breaks down into complete chaos. We close the program yet again with announcers hyping upcoming matches and the World Tour. Anyway, Simpson and Kevin Von Erich are your victors. Kerry Von Erich comes out to help, and Kerry obviously looking in a good space. Tour update on the Von Erichs across America closes the program, and we'll be back with more right after this.